Just how good is the Porsche 911? Everybody and their grandmother knows what these cars are. They've been around for ages and they're one of the most iconic of all time. But the question I'm wondering is, are they any good? I've heard a lot of mixed things about them over the years, and today we're gonna put it all to the test. To do that, we're gonna do something that no one has ever done before. We're gonna start by full sending it on the track that it was meant to perform on, and then we're gonna put it in a setting that will level the playing field for cars all shapes and sizes, and that is full sending it on a rally stage, both dirt and asphalt, to make sure it's a fair comparison. To do that, we're gonna be using two different simulator programs. The first one is Assetto Corsa Competizione, arguably the most realistic GT simulator in the world. The second one is less of a sim, a little bit more of a game, and that's Dirt Rally 2.0. Still fairly realistic, but it's testing out the physical attributes of this car in a completely different setting. ACC is the sim software that puts the Porsche in the setting that it was ultimately built for, like circuit racing in a GT setting. In an off-road setting, the weight transfer and handling characteristics are a lot looser, more forgiving, and amplified. We're basically just discovering how versatile this car really is and how awesome it is at overall performance. Now, I will be clear, this is not a comparison between these two sim software. This is simply looking at the car itself, which is the Porsche 911. Yes, I am a diehard Ford guy. At the time of filming this, I'm not being paid by Ford. I'm not a factory driver on any team or anything. I'm doing this out of sheer curiosity. I've been wanting to test this out for a very long time, and I'm finally getting to. Why, you ask? Because I've been looking at the videos I've been posting over the last few weeks, and they've been getting like less than 30 views each. I don't even want to watch them. I'm kind of glad about that, because it's giving me an excuse to have fun now. I apologize in advance. I'm using my phone right now because that camera is horrible, and if you want to see it upgraded, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys, you're awesome. Now let's dive into it. This particular one's a 2017 991 GT3 Cup car. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really understand what that means. I'm not a Porsche guy, okay? Don't hate me, don't cancel me, just run with me, okay? We are gonna be comparing it to a 2007 Rally GT Porsche, okay? Both of them are flat sixes. As far as I understand, these are the most similar cars I could find in the game. Now, again, I'm not a Porsche dude. I might be, we're about to find out, but if you guys want me to compare two other different versions of Porsches, please let me know. Because Dirt Rally's got two different Porsches, okay? It's got this one from the RGT class. It is, again, a 2007. And we also have a 1984 version as well that was used in the rear-wheel drive Group B era in the early 80s. So that would be another very interesting comparison. I have a weird feeling that this particular one would compare more realistically to the modern GT cars, but for the scope of this video, we're just gonna worry about the Rally GT class. I being me, in real life, I've driven front engine cars. That's all I have experience with in real life. In sim, I got loads of time with mid-engine cars, but this is the first time I'm actually sitting down to mess around with a rear engine car. So for this, we're just gonna take it for a spin using the safe preset setup. So we could take this for like a good 10 laps, 32 liters will give us our maximum, okay? We're picking Nürburgring because this is the track that I have the most experience. We got 6 gears. We have, I think it's 540 degrees of steering I have set up with this, and paddle shifters. That's what we're gonna be doing for both cars. Oh, and it's easy to stall. That's kind of neat. Oh, whoa. Whoa, okay, this is not a toy. Oh my God. Oh my God, the entry oversteer. Oh, wow, that's nicely balanced. And all the gears feel nice and short too. Yo, this is on the sound. Oh my God, what an experience. That was the most lovely slide off I've ever felt. Oh wow, and it's easy to catch. Yo, this is really nicely balanced. I like this car. I haven't even done a full lap with it. It feels so much lighter than the Mustang, and it feels so much more like better balanced. It turns in very nicely. It feels light and agile. I can't get over that. And the fact that it's so balanced at high speeds and I can just take it flat without like grappling with it. That's incredible. And I can feel the rotation at like the maximum rotation point when the gas and brake overlap for a second there. Man, you have to be really patient going from second to first. ABS to 2. Let's see what that feels like. Oh, that feels way better already. I was gonna say, this thing weighs way less than the Mustang. There's no way its braking distance is longer. Oh yeah, that feels way better. Yeah, way more control with the rears too. It's nice though, because it's a flat 6 and it's so low in the chassis, like, it's super well balanced. It's weird, I can feel, yeah, see, there's our improved braking zone. Man, this thing's a weapon. I cannot get over this. No! No! Oh, that's good fun. Okay, I keep losing the rears. We are gonna bump the brake bias forward a little bit. That felt nice, kinda. I'm trying to feel what the car is telling me, like what it wants. Do you want like a later apex so that I can gas sooner? It feels kind of like it. It likes momentum when turning. Like being extra smooth is very important. I almost don't need pedal overlap. Like I feel like it should be right foot braking. Let's try it for a second, see what happens. Just to feel the weight and the balance. Ah, nuts. Okay, right foot braking's messing me up. We're not gonna do that. Let off, let coast, feel the weight transfer forwards. Mid corner, let it coast for a second. Oh, wow. That was different. Maintenance throttle. Let it coast for a moment. Yeah, see, that felt way smoother. Yeah, that feels way better. See, it's weird. I feel like I've developed some bad habits from the Mustang because it's such a heavy and such a powerful car. Like, it's a brute, straight up. Like, you have to muscle it into everything, which is arguably when it requires the most finesse. But with this, it's like you must finesse. I'm not even gonna try to break it. Yeah, a little lift is all we need there. Finally, my first valid lap. I can feel the rear. So while the rear is sliding, if I try to do a little bit of pedal overlap, it almost makes it unstable, it feels. And the steering is so light. Like, I'm using my fingertips to steer this thing. It's nicely balanced. It doesn't want to understeer. It's very noticeable and easy to catch when it's... Oh, no! God damn it. How easy is it to turn around? Not bad. Man, first gear runs out real quick. Yeah, there was again. Second gear. Ah. It's weird. So it's like when it's sliding, I almost need to let it coast for a second mid-corner. We're gonna bump the brake bias up. Wait a minute, where's the fuel tank in this thing? Maybe I got the brake bias ideal all wrong. They refuel from the front, the engine's in the rear, so the fuel tank's in front of me. So the front becomes lighter. Everything's reversed. So let's move the brake bias to a more neutral position and see what happens. %52%. Oh my god. My braking distance is so much shorter. So that was the problem. I had it backwards. That's cool. That's really cool. Oh, I really like that. So the lighter you are, the faster you're able to go because the better balance the whole car is. Yeah, look at that. It wants to rotate so much more. Yeah. Oh man, this is nice. So let's try the same braking reference here. Yeah, look at that. Oh man, I stopped in such a shorter distance. English is hard right now. Oh no! No! I wanted another valid lap, but that's not happening. That's too bad. Okay, I got enough fuel for one last lap, so let's make it count.
Moments later.
No! Man, this is wild. The handling is so different. I don't need to brake just to get the car snugged in there. All I need to do is just lift off the gas and it's like perfectly balanced as is. The Mustang, because it's a front engine and it's so much more heavy, like you have to brake in order to get it, like almost drag it to the inside, but this just wants to like dart. I know that could definitely be tweaked in the tuning, but that is not the purpose of today's video. Okay, that was really fun. Let's bring it home. The acceleration and deceleration rates on this is absolutely bonkers. What a wonderful driving experience. I can't get over that. That was wonderful. That was truly a wonderful driving experience. The whole weight and balance thing was, it kind of caught me by surprise, but I mean, it makes sense. What was my fastest lap? 210? My only valid lap. I feel like I can definitely get like a 155 or something if I try hard enough and spend enough time, but I'm not gonna do that. Like I can feel the potential. I can feel how quick it wants to go. I just haven't like discovered it yet because it's so different. Instead of all the weight being up here in the front and just this whole thing feeling like a metal lawn dart kind of thing, this feels balanced. Like this Porsche, this is insane. Because like, if anything, it was more stable at the beginning, which is exactly what you needed because the fuel tank's in front, right? So therefore, the nose was weighed down to make it more like a front engine car. And then as it got lighter, it became more balanced and more nimble, which is incredible. In a front engine car, such as the Mustang, it's the complete other way around. It's mostly balanced when the fuel tank is full because it's heavier on both ends, and then it just like the rear end becomes more squirrely as you drive. So this is a completely different driving experience. I don't know which one's better. I have to play around with that a whole lot more, but still, this is insane. All right, and now we are in Dirt Rally 2.0, and we're gonna be smart about this. So the most direct comparison we're probably gonna be able to get between the two, I guess, games as far as traction and surfaces and stuff is going to be Spain, which is 100% asphalt. Because, okay, for those of you who don't know much about Dirt Rally 2.0, allow me to share with you my special. This game I have, I think, almost 1,000 hours in at this point. Like, I have spent a lot of time dicking around in here. And it's definitely more of a game when you compare it to ACC. Like, for this, you can't control the weather, but it's daytime, clear, dry surface, or daytime, cloudy, wet surface. The specific car that we're gonna be comparing it to is this Porsche, which is built in 2007. So it's almost a decade older than the one that we just drove in ACC. It's still gonna be similar. This image shows a mid-engine car, when in reality, the engine's a little bit further. It's a rear engine build. It's a Porsche 911. You get the offhand. I don't know the exact like specs and comparison and stuff, so I'll throw them up on screen for you guys to check out. This is how these two vehicles compare. The other part with Dirt Rally is you can't really control tire pressure, but unlike Assetto Corsa Competizione, you can control your tire type, like your material. Like here, I can't control how much PSI is in each wheel, but I can control what compound my rubber is made of. So I'm gonna go with soft because that gives you the best performance. They wear the quickest, so that part is like semi-realistic. As far as tuning goes, this is actually kind of sweet. Brake bias is 74% to the front. And because we also cannot control fuel level, the brake bias is going to be fixed. Like the balance of the car doesn't change at all while you're driving unless you use your spare tire, which we're not going to, hopefully we're not going to do. We can also change the differential. We have more control over that, and we also have control over the gearbox and the specific gear lengths, which is sweet. That's not something you get in ACC. So with the brakes at 74%, we're gonna leave it there because standard tuning, like the default tuning in this game, is usually pretty sweet. The rear usually tends to be a little bit squirrely, and you have to soften the rear sway bars, but again, this is the first time I'm driving this car in this game. This is the first time I'm driving a rear engine car, period. Yeah, so I have the same steering ratio from lock to lock, and I'm also gonna be using paddle shifters, again, just to keep things as similar as possible. On the screen there's the column for the column shifter. Phil's chilling over there, so the weight of the distribution is also gonna be a little different. Oh God, he's staring into my soul. So is he. Oh my God, they're all staring into my soul. Stop. In addition, I also do not have a handbrake, which I would love, okay? My handbrake is currently like attached to this little button up here, so when I push and hold this, it's gonna start the timer.
3, 2, 1, go. 6 right, 100, 3 left, 150.
Oh, wow.
Long,
How many gears do I have? 6, okay. This car feels very bouncy compared to ACC.
left long, extra long.
Whoa. Whoa there.
30.
Oh my goodness. I just kind of got sucked in. Okay, so right away, this car feels a lot more like bouncy, like less stable, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. Like the steering doesn't feel nimble, like it feels really heavy, and it feels like I need to brake really hard and then use the momentum of the weight in the rear to rotate it properly to get that balanced neutral steer. Ugh, excuse me. Which isn't a bad thing, it's just way different. This does not feel at all like, it feels sort of similar. Yeah, like that. Oh geez. This is not going well at all. How do I fix that again? I think that's this button. Okay, so right away, this does not feel anything like what we just drove in ACC. Like, it's still a fairly nimble car, and I can feel the weight in the rear, because like, I've spent enough time in this game to, like, with front and mid-engine cars that like, I can feel how balanced they are, I can feel where the weight is more or less. And with this one, it feels like the weight's in the front because the steering's so heavy. But you can definitely tell the engine's in the rear because of how easily it rotates. Like, I need to brake hard on entry and use the brake release to control how quickly the rear end comes around, which is kind of the case with a lot of rally cars because they're so tolerant to sliding and you kind of need to slide them. But this one especially, it's like it takes a minute for the momentum to start coming around. And once it does, like, it wants to keep going, so you need to catch it with the gas pedal. So I guess the whole weight distribution, weight balance is a lot more prominent. It still feels like a Porsche. It's weird. All right, hold on. Let's try this again. Let's just get through this stage and we'll give a review at the end, okay?
3, 2, 1, go. 6 right, 100.
It feels so unstable at high speeds. Oh my goodness. Aero clearly is not much of a thing with this car.
Into 4 left. Extra long, tightens. 100.
Who put that rock there? For a car that's naturally aspirated, it seems to have quite a bit of torque up top.
Flat right of a crest. Into 5 left. 40. 3 left, tightens.
Oh, finally we're at the end. Damn, nowhere near the record, but that's okay. That was a very interesting experience. I'm glad I did that. Interesting, so right away, like, the car feels heavier than it did in the ACC game, okay? And you can see, like, right here, the spare tire is just chilling. But watch the rear. You can see how, like, I'm trying really hard to control the rear on entry. Like, it's more pointy than normal. And it feels a little less stable. Better balanced, but less stable. I think I have way too much camber for this. Now, before we conclude this video, I think it's only fair that I try driving this particular Porsche on the surface it was made to, dirt. So we're gonna take a very short intermission where I'm gonna grab some coffee, drink some water, and then make myself a few pounds lighter so that I can perform at my peak potential here, okay? Okay, I'll be right back.
Well, hello again. I see you've joined me for yet another story today. Well, I'm very excited for this one because it is a story that I myself have personally experienced. Now, let's see. Ah, yes. So this story begins with a lad much like myself back in college. This lad had a pretty solid fashion sense and he bought himself a sweater for school. He got it, he wore it, he was super happy. This wasn't just any sweater. This particular lad really enjoyed watching race cars and stuff. And this was the merchandise of his favorite driver of all time. By wearing this sweater, he felt like he belonged to something. He felt like he was a part of the race team, which is something he wanted more than anything. So the first week that he wore the sweater, he was over the moon. He was super happy. And then the weekend came, and who should come to visit? But the lad's girlfriend. The lad's girlfriend came to visit, and she had to borrow his outrageously stylish sweater. Well, we all know how that story usually ends. Needless to say, this lass took said stylish sweater home as her own possession, leaving the lad quite distraught. In addition, she wore it every day that week because she also felt she was a part of the team, which was something that she truly enjoyed. Now, this lass was also in school, and the Monday following the weekend where she initially took said sweater, she was in class. And the classroom, for some reason, was a little hotter than usual, and she wanted to take the sweater off. But she couldn't because she wasn't wearing anything underneath. It was just so comfortable and so stylish, she refused to wear anything else. So in the classroom, she was boiling uncomfortably, cussing her boyfriend for not being able to provide her with, you know, a shirt that matched the sweater. She cussed him in the moment. She cussed him on the phone. She cussed him throughout the remainder of the week until finally, he also bought a shirt for himself, so he finally felt like he was a part of the team. He wore it for those few days, and then the weekend came yet again, and then his girlfriend came to visit and took the shirt too. From there, she lived happily ever after because she had the coolest sweater and the coolest t-shirt that anyone could ask for. The moral of that story is whenever you buy yourself something, remember, your significant other sooner or later is going to take it. And if you are single right now, it is not going to stay that way forever. I believe that everyone will find love. So be ready for when love comes and have 2 sets of shirts and 2 sets of sweater and buy garments for all occasions. You could even buy a hat to protect yourself from the sun or the fluorescent lights in your college classroom, whatever you find yourself needing. Remember, intermissions like this are far more entertaining and far more helpful to the channel than paid advertisements will ever be. So, if you do not like paid advertisements, please hit the like and subscribe button, and you can even comment how much you disliked this interruption and how lame this story was. Thank you. We will return to the video now.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. So now we are going to try driving the Porsche in the USA area of New England, Beaver Creek Trail forwards. The first half of this is just Hancock Hill Sprint Reverse. Personally, my home court, my favorite stretch of map on this whole game. Verbiage is hard right now. What we're about to do is what this car was meant to do in this game. It's literally called Dirt Rally 2.0, not Asphalt Tarmac 2.0, whatever. The same car, same everything. We're just gonna try giving it a spin on the gravel. So with this, we are gonna go softs, and as far as tuning goes, we're just going with super basic everything. The brake bias is different here. Why? Probably because there's less traction. Yeah, diff is way more locked. I'm assuming the gearing's the same. I'll put it on screen so you guys who are curious can see the difference between the gravel, which is on the left, and the asphalt, which is on the right. Here's damping, here's springs, life is good. All right, let's give this a shot.
3, 2, 1. 6 left, opens of a crest. Into 6 right long of a crest.
Oh, wow. The rear really wants to step out here.
3 right. 30.
Wow.
Cut, fall left of a
That's
crest.
cool. That feels amazing. Yeah, the rear is super unstable. It's like swaying back and forth a lot. Oh, why is this so tricky?
Opens 100, turn unseen, screw left.
I'm not in an all-wheel drive. That was pure muscle memory right there. Feel the car, man. What's it telling you? This is a rear-wheel drive. I gotta remember that. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Not the people. We're in top gear. 3, 2. I do not want to lock up.
Into 6
Come
left.
on.
50.
Right, we are in a rear-wheel drive, man, not all. There's a bad call coming up. Oh, fluff. Oh, fluff. Interesting. It feels nicely balanced. Like the steering is still super heavy for some reason. And the back end really wants to step out. I'm not sure how I would fix that tuning. Probably soften the rear sway bar a little bit. That was a really fun experience. Yeah, right here. Yeah, I totally forgot I was in a rear-wheel drive. For a second, I tried just power sliding through the whole thing. That did not work out. That was fun, though. This is the first time in a long time where I've hopped in the sim and just had a smile on my face pretty much the whole time. This was fun. This was a lot of fun. I tried something new. And this is one of the reasons that I wanted to get into driving in the first place, like professional driving. Try new things and push my limit, you know? Driving the Porsche is one thing, but driving it well and like getting good at it? Yeah, this was another I have to treat it like a drift car, man, and be extra cautious with the drifting because it's so tail heavy. Not tail happy, like tail heavy. Like you can definitely feel that this car was built for like more nimble settings, like track settings and stuff like that, not for rally, but it works really well. There's like zero aerodynamics on this though. Unlike ACC, that's something I really noticed. At higher speeds, it felt very well balanced and very well stable. Whereas here, despite the fact that there's a massive wing on it, it felt like it was going all over the place and got even harder to control. And I'm not sure if that's like a rake thing, like if I just need to increase the rake or increase wing angle. You can't do that in this game, but whatever. Aerodynamics not something you tweak in dirt rally. See, like right there, at high speeds, I was in top gear, I think, and I was sliding. It was bouncing all over the place, like every little, yeah, right here was real sketchy. That was a lot of fun though. So comparing this Porsche to its ACC counterpart, it was the same, but different, you know? And you could tell it's a sports car because of the way that it is. If you've spent any amount of time in either game, you could definitely feel the engine all the way over top of the rear axle. You could feel how like the tail like was almost reluctant in a way come around, but once it did start coming around, it liked that momentum. Like it liked smooth, longish turns that were like graceful, I suppose. It's not like the Mustang or like other front wheel drive cars where you have to like pedal overlap and be very snappy with the pedal inputs. This is like, it needs finesse. And I feel like the engine being in the rear is actually like super helpful for like getting around hairpins and corners like this. I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't have a handbrake, and this is the first time I have, oh man, this is the first time, actually that's a good point. This is the first time I have driven dirt rally in how many months? It's been too long. You know what? I owe you guys an apology. I need to have more fun in rally stuff. I've been working with this GT related stuff because I've been very curious about like driving technique and precision and consistency and stuff, but it's not my jam. This is my jam. This is what I gotta focus on doing more. I must say I really did enjoy the comparison between the two different simulator programs. And the Porsche looks pretty slick, I'm not gonna lie. Like this is a very sexy looking car, look at it. And that was the other thing, like you can see how short the wheelbase is. Obviously rally cars are more susceptible and like they're meant to be sliding around and they're meant to be sideways, okay? So naturally, yeah, they're a lot more forgiving when you do get it sideways. Not if, but when. And because the wheelbase is so short, like it's very, very nimble. So overall, like the Porsche is really a joy to drive. Like I would actually really like to try driving one of these things in real life. If I could rally one, that would be metal, but that would be very, very expensive. So to answer the question of the video, how good is driving a Porsche? I'm gonna go ahead and say very good, okay? Overall, it's got good balance, it's got good handling. From everything I've heard about it, you can customize and tune it to your heart's delight, and there is just no end of things. I really, really like the fact how with playing with the brake bias, you could feel it be better balanced as the fuel tank became progressively emptier. It actually felt nicer to drive. I'm just a little mind blown by this, if I'm being honest. Did I like it? Yes. Will I drive it again? Most definitely. Don't know when, but if you guys want me to try beating one of your times or a challenge or a world record or something with this particular car, do comment below.